Good morning, everyone. Hello, guys. How are you doing today? How is trading going so far? Let's wait a couple of minutes more just for the rest of the people to join. How is trading going? Any trades you currently in? Some pairs maybe you are watching? Okay, so just to make sure, this webinar is for education purposes only and doesn't involve any personal advice to anyone. Why cherry not so good for you? Trading, Mercy, we are good. Luis, trading is well. Cherry, which pairs were you trading and which time frames? So guys, let's salute, bonjour. I assume this is French, interesting language. So let's start with today's major news. You were buying pound USD. Okay, I will explain something about the pound USD specifically since yesterday's price action. In which time frame were you buying the pound USD, Cherry? All right, guys. So just before we start, please make sure you like and subscribe the video we are doing on the YouTube. You know that it takes too much effort to put together these live sessions and preparation, and we do it with a pleasure. So if you like the content, just make sure you like and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. I also included the Telegram here and the Instagram profile, so you get all the updates. Good morning to those join us just now. Now I realize that I started the webinar just a couple of minutes earlier today. So, okay, Cherry, we will have a look at that 1 hour. So, guys, today we had earlier in the UK the good domestic product of the month. The previous was 0.4%. Forecast was minus 1.3%. Outcome came slightly better than the forecast, but something important you have to know that markets most of the times around news events they react based on their forecast and not necessarily on the actual number when it comes out. So there are many particular situations where you're going to see the market just moving in one direction. The number, for example, it's positive. Let's say, just an example, it's positive for the sterling, but so the price action of the sterling in 1 minute after the event, if the forecast was negative for the sterling, most likely it's going to slam down and then it's going to take it's going to flush the upside. So it's just their behavior, because the traders, they were building their positions based on the forecast and not based on the actual event, because the actual number wasn't out yet at that time. Okay. Then we had the GDP growth rate, 8.7 to go down to 2.8%. It came 2.9. Then we have 0.8%. So not very, not extremely positive news for the pound. And later on today at 3 GMT time, 3 p.m., we're going to have the consumer sentiment, shows type of bullishness for the US dollar, but the major factor for the bullishness of the US dollar, it's going to be the interest rates in September, if they're going to increase by another, I think they are talking 50 basis points. So we will see what will happen with the US dollar. So, and as I mentioned on the rear I've done on Wednesday, we put the rear out on Instagram. So please make sure you get the updates also on Wednesday. And I was talking that the Forex market in general, this period of the year, they are slowing down. You have to know, guys, that many people, they are taking hedge fund managers and banks, they are taking their annual leave. So usually August, it's a month with not important moves in the currencies. Okay, so let's go straight to the premium analytics. We also have our premium analytics. Top headlines for today: US home prices jumped to record high in second quarter. European Berlin proposes significant concession to Iran to revive nuclear deal. The bursting Chinese housing bubble compounds Beijing's economic woes. Bill to spend energy infrastructure faces resistance, and the Dutch telecom nearing majority ownership of T-Mobile, and Shell working to fix leak that halted Gulf of Mexico oil output. These are the headlines for today. So let's go straight to the charts. Now let's start with the pound USD. Guys, just please let me know which pairs would you like to have a look today. Just type it on the good morning for those who join in the last few minutes. Hello guys, I hope you are well. I'm very well, thank you. So what's happening with the pound and why we said it was an ideal candidate to buy it last time? You see guys here, the pound, and that comes the ability to read the charts correctly. And I had that discussion with a beginner trader yesterday, and I was explaining him how to correctly read the charts. We have to understand that when the market is making in a downtrend, when the market is making a lower low, instantly the origin of the move is becoming the last swing high. So this pullback here, for many people, it's very minor pullback. This pullback here, from the technical perspective, it's the last high who managed to break below this low of the market. So this is the lower high, and this is the lower low, the new one. After this high is taken out, then we have change of polarity and we are in an uptrend. Intermediate or minor uptrend, but that's the fact we have. However, if we zoom out, if we zoom out, we clearly see that this market is in a downtrend, okay? And this level here, it was an important turning point for the market. And then the market registered this low here. And then it's pulling back to these areas. Let's put another line here. It's pulling back to these areas here, somewhere here. And then from this point, it registered a new low. What can we understand from this price action behavior? First, the major trend is down. So if you're going to start buying at some point, this market, you have to make sure that you have the series of higher highs and higher lows. You have here one high, which is the first higher high, but where is your second high? So for us, we said to start looking for buys from the technical trading perspective. We have to see this. We have to see this high here taken out with a close above this point, and then on the pullback we're going to start buying. And that's, I hope you guys understand it, because I know you are putting so much effort in your trading. So it's good to all the time learn and apply. So when we correctly read the phases of the market, the swings, it's going to be much easier to know when we are buying and when we are selling. All right, let's go to New Zealand USD. New Zealand USD, do I have it here? Yep. So let's see what's happening here with the Kiwi. From this point here, you see, guys, this one was the last. The market made a lower low here. We have a close below this low. So we have a lower low. And then this price, this area, this swing has been taken out with this high, this high, this high, whichever you prefer. And then the market pullback gave you the entry here up to there. Now, we saw that the market was drifting sideways, and 2 days ago, it broke with this impulse candle here. When you see long bodies in the candles, that automatically means there is too much of activity from the traders. The buyers and the sellers were interactive aggressively, and the buyers managed to win the battle, and we have this impulse candle. So from yesterday, after we saw that, so from when that was on Wednesday, so from yesterday onwards, we could go down to the lower time frames, the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, and start looking for buys. So, and the next level of the Kiwi, it's this one here. That's the obvious level. This one here, guys. So the interaction between buyers and sellers, it's happening around support and resistance. That's why we call them support and resistance, because the market can react from these points, and it can turn opposite direction. So if you are long here, I see the market coming to this level. Now, I cannot tell you, Cherry, if you're going to close the trade or let it open. It's something you're going to decide. But from the technical perspective, as a technical trader, I see a series of higher highs and higher lows. So it's a healthy uptrend. That's the situation I see here. New Zealand CAT, Airfan USD JPY. Yes, it's on the watch list. USD yen. Let's change it to black. So what can we see in this situation? We see that we are on the weekly chart. We see that the market found some support around this area here. But on the daily chart, we are still making lower highs and lower lows. And we said that unless on the 4-hour chart, we have a series of higher highs and higher lows, then and only then we start looking for buys. Because yes, the weekly, it's in an uptrend, but the daily, it's in a downtrend. Lower low, lower high. A market in a down, on the daily, the market in a downtrend, if we want to start positioning into the upside, we have to wait for the 4-hour chart to show us buying pressure, and that it's going to come with series of higher highs and higher lows. And at some point here, and I mentioned into the webinar on Wednesday, I was looking, after I saw this impulse move here, I was looking for the market to push a little bit to the upside and come nicely around this level, so I can initiate buy positions and target higher prices. But around the news event, the market just slammed down. The US dollar got so weak, so that was out of the watch list anymore. Now, for buys, this one, because now we just bounced off support, so if we want to buy, we have to see a series of higher highs and higher lows, and then if we have a trend line, EMAs, whatever you can use, channel lines, you can initiate buy positions with the right price action. Then let's go to have a look at the New Zealand Canadian dollar. Do I have it here? So it's a New Zealand CAT. So the weekly chart, just very quickly, it shows that the market is in a downtrend, in an overall downtrend. If we go back to the daily, here definitely we see series of higher highs and higher lows. So the market is pushing to the upside. However, we have an obstacle, as everyone, I assume you can see here. This swing high was the creator of this lower broke. So that's a very valid resistance in the market, because it managed to break the last swing low. So when the price comes here, maybe it's going to react. Somehow it's going to react. So just keep an eye on that if you are long in this market. And the next area of resistance, it's up here. So for now, the buyers are bullish for this market from the technical analysis point of view. And this trend line now, it's becoming very steep. So a good opportunity again is if the market comes around to these levels here, and then you can maybe start buying on the 4-hour chart. Let's have a look at the Euro JPY. So euro yen daily chart, clearly everyone can see that this market is trending lower, lower highs and lower lows. So we have to wait. We have to wait and see. This bearish, what I don't like here is that this bearish engulfing didn't immediately push to the downside, and that shows some type of weakness in the market, because like here, the sellers immediately they push the price and they create this lower low here. But at this time, this bearish engulfing, excuse me, this bearish engulfing could be an important factor for the sellers to start selling. But if we go to the weekly chart, sorry guys, something happened with my platform. Come on. Sorry guys, just bear with me. Okay. It's just the platform stopped working. Let's go back. So can everyone see the screen? Okay. All right, great. So here we go to the weekly chart, and what can we see? That the market overall it's not in a clear uptrend, because I would like to see the market making higher highs, and then when it pulls back to stop at the last swing high. But didn't happen here. The market retraced almost all the initial moves. So we are still having some bullishness left in this euro yen pair. That's why maybe on the daily we don't see, we're not going to see aggressive sellers coming in play. So if we go down to the 4-hour chart, if we're going to take this high here, I think I will start looking for longs. But so far we are in what we call no man's land, and I wouldn't start initiating buying positions. Okay. DAX, for those who are trading the DAX, I also trade DAX, so don't. So the daily chart, we talked about this gap here, and it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 7th trading day that the market it's stalled around this gap. Usually gaps act as barriers, in this case as a resistance. So we will wait to see what happened. We had this bearish engulfing yesterday. I saw it. I didn't interact with this engulfing, because the market break its structure to the downside, and it was a bit, I would say, dangerous for me to get involved on the 4-hour chart counter trend trade. So unless I see lower highs and lower lows, I don't tend to start shorting a bullish market. Pound yen, didn't see the pound yen. Here we stacked around these levels, guys. Not much to do with this pair, unless you are trading on the lower time frames, and you can start buying on support and selling on resistance. But as we went through, there are more clear pairs to trade. So let's have a look at the euro US dollar. Euro US dollar, we have this support has been breaking. Now can act as resistance. So we are waiting to see a price action. Ideally, I would like to see a pin bar here with no body to indicate that the buyers are not in control at all, but it didn't happen. So I'm waiting to see some sort of change in the structure in the 4-hour chart. So if in the 4-hour chart actually this low here is the lower low, because, and that's where many traders, they get confused, and that's a very good example, guys. The market is make a higher high. This high, it's higher than this high. Then it pushed back around this area here, which is great. And then the market didn't manage to make a higher high than this one here. So this high, it's not higher than that high. And not only that, it didn't also close higher than this area. So this one here, we don't consider it, at least for now, as a valid swing in the market, because this origin of this impulse move didn't manage to create a new structure. That's why the last low who created the structure, it was this one here with this impulse move, and it made higher high than this one here. So it took actually all the highs in the market. So this one, it's the valid low point so far. So unless we take this one, I'm not really keen to start looking for shorts. And unless we break above this structure, I'm not really keen to start looking for longs. So that's the bias. Yesterday, I initiated a position with the anticipation of this very bullish engulfing here. So I had a pending order here, my stop there, but I closed around this area here. It wasn't more than 1-to-1, so it was a good, for me, it was a good trade. And I told you many times about the engulfing price action trading. So yeah. Guys, any other pair? USD, gold. Yes, we can have a look at the gold. USDCHF. USDCHF, we have this low point, which is taken out. Now we have a lower low. So we have a lower low, we have a lower high in a clear downtrend. I'm looking to get involved with this market if it's going to pull back a little bit, and the 4-hour chart, it's going to give a good price action entry, then definitely I will short this one, because from what it at least for now, it looks like it's going to be a decent reward to risk ratio. Let's have a look at the gold. Gold. We don't see gold here. Gold. We are around this zone, this false break, this low point here, and this low point there. So the major trend is bearish. This one here, this price action here could be initiated for shorts. But remember, we are in an uptrend short term. This is an uptrend. So we have to wait at least for the 4-hour to show us some lower highs, lower lows, in order to start looking for shorts. So some traders, they might start selling from this point here. I just want to see a little bit more clarity in this market before I start selling. Okay. So let's have a look at the US dollar. index, US dollar index daily chart. We are around this support here, as you can see. Market yesterday didn't make a close below this low point, so we haven't broken yet below this this low point. I hope we can break today and start looking for shorts, but for the daily chart, this is in a very, very tiny range with more bearish implications. So that's how I see it. Let's have a look. No sound. Guys, can you hear me? Someone says that it has no sound. Can you just type yes or no if you can hear me, just to make sure? Yes, thank you so much. Yep. Euro Oz. Let's have a look. This one here is in a downtrend. I'm looking to sell this market because the target is somewhere here around this low point, and we broke below this lower. We broke below this lower point here. So this is on my watch list, and I'm waiting on the 4-hour or even 1 hour to see a price action, which it's gonna help me to get into this market. So for now, it's Australian euro, Australian dollar. It's the trend is down. It's bearish. All right. Okay, guys, that's all from me today. I wish you to have, I'm sorry, I'm just reading a message came from Cherry. Most of my losing trades came from bad impulse to open a second, sometimes third position in opposite direction when the price does not react to calculate first. Yes, so we have to be patient, Cherry, and just go with the trend. It's higher probability for winners instead of losers when we go with a trend, statistically talking. All righty, so guys, it was a pleasure to spend this this morning with you. As always, I want to wish you to have a very, very nice weekend ahead, and happy trading for those you're going to trade as well for the rest of the day. And looking forward to talk to you again on Monday morning. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.